everybody. I'm starting this reading vlog for this next week. It is Sunday, about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I thought I would just pop on and just briefly mention what it is that I'm currently working on. So I am reading The Primrose Path by Barbara Metzger. I am a little over halfway through it. It's got 230 pages, I think, and I'm on page 130. So I am getting there. It's really, really fun. It's a lot of fun. If you like historical romance and dogs and just fun antics and stuff, you just need to check this one out because it is a lot of fun. Even it's from 1997. So far, I think it's held up pretty good, and it's a lot of fun. I'm also working on Exile, Keeper of the Lost City 2 by Shannon Messenger, and I gotta pick up the pace some. I'm not very far. I need to get farther in this because the month is gonna run out before I get it read. So, gonna have to pick up the pace. I've been working on reading a lot more of my, retro romances and stuff instead of the other books that I have on my TBR, so this week I need to get a big chunk of this one out. But then, speaking of retro romances, I would like to start the audiobook for Morning Glory by Laverell Spencer. And this one is from 1989, and so I'd like to get this one to go. And it's kind of a chunky one, so I'm hoping that it goes as quickly for me as Years did. But I tell you what, after the rip my heart out parts in Years, I am now a little bit nervous and excited all at the same time to be reading another one of her books because I don't know what she's going to do to my heart. But we'll give it a go. And that is pretty much what is on the radar right now. I'm sure there will be more added to this as I go. We'll see. It's Monday, and I wanted to just stop in here because I took y'all book shopping with me, and I probably had the video before this so you could see. It's Valentine's Day, and usually I don't do anything. I just kind of mope around, because, to me it's like Single Awareness Day. I just don't recognize Valentine's Day that much. I mean, it's just another day. But I did score this time because my dad actually remembered to get me something. He got me some Reese's for Valentine's Day. And my friend Joan, she got me some chocolates too, so that was cool. I thought that was really nice of them. But anyway, I found that there were some like antique type flea markets in a town a couple over from ours. We don't really go there very often. We just don't really have a reason to, but I noticed that they had these. And it mentioned, well, in one it mentioned that it had books, in the other one it didn't. But we went to that one first, and I'll put a picture here. It's called the Finicky Fox, I think. It's got a cute little fox on top. And, oh my goodness, were there books. There were books everywhere. It was like, oh, self-control, I have none. None whatsoever. And it was a lot of fun, and it was really tiring. We, after I, spent money there, we went to Goodwill. I found a couple of books, but not really that much. And then we went to the other flea market where it said it had books, which they did have books, but not really like my kind of books. I did get a few things there, but we also scored, and on the square there where the one was, we found another flea market that I didn't know about, and they had some books in there, so I got a few books from there, maybe like 6 or 7, whatever. So in total, I may have went a little overboard and have a problem. Most of these are also like romances and stuff like that. The old school kind of romance. There's a few newer Harlequins, but not very many. But yeah, I got a lot. And I've been listening to people talk about John Jakes, and so I found some John Jakes books. So I thought I'll just go ahead and collect all of them that I could find, and then maybe once I had like the whole like series, I might start reading on them. And so I scored pretty good for. I didn't think I would actually find John Jakes, and so I found some. I will show you like a little sample of what I got, because I got like, I don't know, like 70 books maybe. I know I have a problem, but I just couldn't pass them up, and I have a problem. Here was one of my like big deals. I found this like flat of Debbie May Comer books. And they were only $12. So I had to get it. But they are the Harlequin Essential Debbie May Comer collection. So they're all like her, I think like her backlist books, but like in these new editions. And they look like they've not even hardly been read, if they have been read. I mean, like, they're in like super good condition. So I think I scored on that one. And this was at the bookstore, or not the bookstore, but at the like Finicky Fox, where it didn't advertise that they had books. Like I said, they had lots of books. And I found some Laverell Spencer books, and I think this one is just so pretty. So pretty. I got my heart ripped out, y'all know, by this author last week when I read Years. And I just really, really liked her, so I just decided to find some more books. And I got this one, it's Home Song. Look, it's got a pretty step back. And one of these days, I am going to bite the bullet and read this thing, so I got Gone with the Wind. I found this. I knew I could probably find this at the used bookstore that I normally go to. I just never looked for it, but I figured they had it, and of course they did. They had quite a few copies, so that wasn't hard to get. One of my favorite kind of Harlequins were the Nocturne ones, and so I got one of those. And then I found this really cute looking Halloween Harley Quinn called Haunted Spouse. I thought that was cute by Heather Allison. So I had to get it. It's just cute. So got kind of those kind of things. Found Jude Devereaux's The Black Lion. I've been wanting to get this book for a while because I would like to start this series. Because it's like, I think the Talbot and Montgomery like series. It's like slash. And I think this is the first book, I think. And so the used bookstore that I went to, the one that I normally go to, had their romances on sale for $1 for Valentine's Day. So had to get that. And here is one of the John Jakes books that I picked up. And everything. And I got this one and I think 3 other from this series. And then I got 2 from the North and South trilogy. Of course, not North and South because that's like the first book, right? So I can't find that one, of course. But yeah. So got those. And this, I would say, is probably my best find to me. And that is because it's a little ratty, but a little tape will go a long way. But this is a Violet Windspear, and it's a 3 novels in 1 for only $3.50. It says number 52 here. I'm not quite exactly sure what that is for because I don't know how they do their bind-ups, but this has Raintree Valley, Black Douglas, and Pagan Island in it, and this is a bind-up from 1970s. I've not ever seen any of the bind-ups from that far back. The vintage Harlequins that I've been reading, the vintage Harlequins that I've been reading from like the 70s, mention the omnibus that they have. And look at that. I don't know if you can see it. There it is. Violet Windspear. And I saw that, and I was like, I think that's what they were talking about in my book. So I was like super excited because, you know, to run across one of those that I read that was in the back of one of my vintage like Harlequins, and to come across a vintage bind up, I thought that was like super cool. And yeah. It's gotta be real careful here. And their stories. Oh, look. There's pictures. That's cool. But the stories, it says, Raintree Valley is from 1971. Black Douglas is from 1971. And the Pagan Islands is from 1972. And this omnibus, which is what it says, Harlequin Omnibus, which is exactly how it was mentioned in there. It's from 1977. So it took those older stories and put them in this one. It's super cool. Might not be cool to everybody else, but to me it was like super cool. Okay, so that's your sneak peek of my book haul that is to come. And so, because I was gone all day, because like we left to go to Denny's this morning at like 7:30. We had breakfast with my friends, and then one of the friends from there went with us and drove us because she likes to drive and she's a maniac. She gives a new meaning to the little old lady from Pasadena. Except we're in Missouri. Whew, you just gotta hold on for dear life and pray. But she's a lot of fun. And so she took us and we went through all those. And then, of course, we had lunch out at a place called Oriental something. I don't know. It was in the town that we were at. It was, of course, Chinese. You know, we are always eating Chinese. And so I haven't read a whole lot, but I will mention that I am on a page 150 out of like 230, so I'm getting there, getting pretty close. Just haven't had a chance. I read a little bit on the way up there and a little on the way back, but yeah, mostly I was admiring my books that I had gotten, and so I didn't really do much reading. And and of course I am still working on this one, but I have gotten a little bit farther. My goal this week is to at least get to there. I need to get this much read because I'm going to run out of month if I don't work on this book. So this is like going to be like a priority read this week and stuff. I'm enjoying it enough. It's just I'm really in like this like old romance like mood, and so nothing else is like what I'm wanting to read. Hopefully I wash that out by March because I have March Mystery Madness and I need to do my mysteries. But I may stick in some Harlequin suspense or intrigue for some of my mysteries, just so I can still have a little. But yeah, so that has been my Monday. It's been really long. We didn't get home until like about 4:30 in the afternoon, and so I'm tired. So I'm going to figure out where on my floor to put all of these books because I don't have room for them anywhere else except for on my floor. And gonna have to make it a priority to clean out the room next to mine. It's not like a room. It's kind of a half a room, because like got my room here, and then you go out, and then it's like an open area, and then there's like a half a room where it has a wall, you know, like a half wall and everything, but then it has the stairs that go downstairs. And so I call it a half a room or an open room because I don't really know what to call it. But my goal is one day to make that my library. And so now with all these books, I'm going to need to start cleaning it out, because in 2008, when we got hit by a tornado, our old trailers that we had, we like packed everything up, and we'd built this and it ripped the roof off of this, but we just packed everything up and we put it upstairs, and then we just left it there. Now I know we haven't messed with it, so I'm not missing any of it, but I still want to go through it and see what we have, because I don't want to just throw it away, because I could have some like sentimental value things in there from like my mom. But it's a tedious task whenever you look in there and you're like, oh, look at all these boxes and junk and everything. But I do need to clean it out so that we can repaint the room and fix the floor, because it never got fixed after the tornado. We were still working on this house whenever we got hit. So that room is just not finished, and we need to finish it. And then I can have a library. That is a goal for someday. Anyway, I'm just rambling on here. But yeah, so I shall come back and talk to you guys whenever I have something interesting to talk about. Hello everybody, it is Wednesday, I believe. Yeah, it's Wednesday, and I am coming on here because I finished a book. So I finished The Primrose Path by Barbara Metzger, and I absolutely love this book. It's from 1997, and it was fairly clean romance, like a few kisses and everything. But I really, really liked it. It was really, really good. It was so funny, like laugh out loud funny. It hit the sweet spot. It was all about dogs, and you know how I love my dogs. And I have to love a main character who loves her dogs too. And it was just really sweet. She was a companion to Lady Sophie, And whenever she passed on, she put it in her will that she gets 5,000 pounds a year to take care of the dogs and to live in Primrose house. Viscount Noel, he was not happy about this because he was expecting to be able to get Primrose house back as part of his property because his, I don't know, grandfather or father or somebody had given that property at one point in time to his mistress, and then he let Lady Sophie have it, which was his wife's sister. They didn't get along, so he let her stay there. But they were expecting to be able to get it back, but she put it in the will that he couldn't have it, and that he could only have it if she was no longer there or the dogs weren't ever there. And the only way the dogs can be gone is if they die or if they give them out to somebody, a good home. And they were also building a like sanctuary for misplaced dogs and things like that. So it was really fun. The more he tried to get her off of the property, the more he just really come to like her. And you know that he's changing his ways whenever he starts out as somebody who's trying to get rid of all the mongrels, all those dogs. Nobody wants them. They're just dogs that nobody cares about. And then when something happens to a dog, he doesn't even want to shoot it. He wants to try to save it. So you know, she was rubbing off on him a little bit. And yeah, it was super cute. Basically, he liked her, but he had ambitions. He wanted to be in government, and to be in government, he needs a really good hostess, and to have a good hostess, he needs somebody who is prim and proper and ladylike. And even though she is a lady in her own right, she never grew up, with the prim and proper type stuff. But I think the reason he actually liked her too was because she wasn't prim and proper. Because the more he hung out with her, the less he liked the lady that he was supposed to be marrying. And some of the shenanigans that went on that has to do with dogs was just so funny and just made me laugh. I just absolutely enjoyed this book, and I give it 5 stars. It was a lot of fun. I think if you like historical romances and you're a dog lover, you should definitely give it a try. It was just pure fun. I started an audiobook that's called Murderous Binding by Lorna Barrett, I think. It's a cozy mystery series that I've wanted to try, but I've never tried it. And I finally got to where I could get the first book. I have it on audio, so I've been listening to it. And I'm about a little over 50%, and I think it's not too bad so far. It's enjoyable. It does seem to have a lot of characters, and I think that's just one of the things you're going to have to get used to, because it's about a town that's full of different bookstores, which, I mean, hello, that's like a utopia for a book lover. And the main character is the owner of the mystery bookstore, but the mystery in here is about the lady who had owned the cookbook bookstore and stuff, because she was murdered, and you have to figure out what happened. Of course, the main character is kind of a suspect, and so she's trying to figure things out. My only thing right now is it seems like the main character is like really, really like zeroed in on one person as the bad guy, and like doesn't like want to think of other characters. And I think that's kind of weird, because mostly the cozy mystery has like several like suspects, and she seems to be like narrowed in on just one, and I think that's kind of weird. It's like she's obsessed and fixated on this one person because she doesn't like that person. So I don't know. Hopefully that'll change a little bit and things, but maybe that's just how it's going to be. I don't know. This is the first time I've read this author before, and so I'm hoping that I'm going to enjoy it enough to continue, because I don't know, a cozy mystery about a book town just sounds like it would be so up my alley. And so also, let's see. So I've got 2 more retros on the docket. This one I'm going to listen to on audiobook, and this is Morning Glory by Laverell Spencer. This is the author whose ending of her book about ripped my heart out, and I'm a little nervous about trying another one of her books, but I've got the audiobook for this one, so I'm going to give this one a try. It's another whopping book because it's got over 400 pages. Yeah, it looks like 437 pages. So hopefully I like it just as much as I did Years, and I'll like fly through it. And then I have Hidden Rapture by Romelia Lane. I'm not quite sure if I'm pronouncing the author's name right. This is it's number 2229 in the Harlequin Romances. It's from 1979. I forgot to mention this one's from 1989. And this one sounds like it's just going to be kind of a lot of fun. It gives me While You Were Sleeping vibes a little bit, except different. But it says, Robert Colby was gravely ill when his brother Trent sent for the girl Robert loved. So it's too late to tell them that they had the wrong girl, that Lucy Miles had written to Robert using Vivian's name and sending her photograph. And that's how Vivian finds herself in Tangier, trying to deceive Robert to make his last months happy ones. But her deception becomes doubly difficult when she realizes that she's in love with the wrong brother. So, it's about Vivian and her friend Lucy's like, I have this problem. I've been writing to this guy, and we fell in love with each other, and his brother like writes and says, he's dying because he has a muscular disease of some sort, and he only has a few weeks to live. But she never got around to telling him that the picture that she sent and the name she was using wasn't hers, because she was shy and was afraid that after she saw his picture that he wouldn't like her, so she sent the other girl's picture. And now he's dying, and she doesn't want to tell him that, it's the, oh, I'm sorry, I've deceived you, that I'm the wrong person. But Robert's wanting to see the girl that he's in love with, so she gets Vivian to go in her place, and then she's going to end up falling for that brother. So I think it just sounds kind of fun, and so I'm kind of curious to see how it goes. And so I think that's everything. Oh, I forgot. I did, yesterday I finished a middle grade book called Poached by Stewart Gibbs. I started listening to it last month, just kind of off and on, and then it had to go back to the library, and there were people waiting on it, so I had to wait to get it back, and so then I got it back. I was like halfway through it, so I just went ahead and finished the rest of it. It's cute. It's the Fun Jungle #2, and it's about Teddy, who lives at a zoo with his parents because they're a zoologist, and in this one he's accused of stealing a koala, and it looks like he's the only one that ever went into the pen, but he's like, I didn't steal the koala, and so he has to figure out who took the koala, what happened, because one of the things about koalas is they need this specific type of eucalyptus leaves. Can't say that word. And if the koala doesn't get them, he could die, because that's all he eats. And so it's kind of a race against time to try to figure out what happened to the koala. And it was really cute. And one of the things I like about Stewart Gibbs's books is there's always like this learning feature. And so like at the end of this one, it talks about how koalas are going extinct and things like that. So it always gives you like a little learning lesson, which I always think is really cool. And speaking of Stewart Gibbs, I forgot I got book mail yesterday as well. And this is Charlie Thorne and the Curse of Cleopatra by Stewart Gibbs. This is the third book, I believe it's the third book in the Charlie Thorne series, which I have not read, but they asked me if I wanted this, and I seen that I could get the library copies of the first two, so I said sure, go ahead, because I really like Stewart Gibbs. I've read the whole of his Spy School series, and then I've started on his Fun Jungle series, and now I've got this series, and I even read one of his brand new series that came out, the first book in that, which was Once Upon a Time. So yeah, I'm really liking Stewart Gibbs. He's just a lot of fun. So I'm excited to get a chance to try this series by him as well. A little bit of a chunker too. This comes out in June. So I got plenty of time to read numbers 2 and 3. And also, I want to mention that my friend Bev from the Killing Time with Cozy's Discord, she knows that I am trying to collect all of the Library Lovers books because it's my favorite series, and she found Do or Die by Jen McKinley, and so she sent this to me. So thank you, Bev. That was really super nice of you. And now I got this to add to my collection. So, yeah. Now I think I'm done. Hello, everybody. It's Thursday, and I'm popping back on here because I finished a couple of audiobooks that I was listening to. I finished Murder is Binding by Lorna Barrett. It's the first book in the Booktown mystery series, and I thought it was okay. You know, first books, a lot of times, there are a lot of setup and things. You have to get used to the characters and all that kind of stuff. Sometimes when you have a first book, you just love it right off the bat, and then other times it's just okay. And I thought this one was just okay. I like the main character, Trisha, a little bit. She wasn't too bad. She owns a mystery bookshop, and the whole town is got like all these different kinds of bookstores in it, which, you know, that's like right up my alley. So I really want to like this series. And I did not like her sister. Her sister comes to town, and I just didn't like her. She does kind of, you know, she grows on you a tiny bit, but there's still times I was right along with Trisha with rolling my eyes at her. And I think there's probably going to be a lot of character growth between the sisters because they don't have a really good relationship. And Trisha didn't want her there at all, but she is going to be like moving there, so she's going to have to deal with her. And, you know, her sister's been having a rough go with things, so I think that has maybe changed her attitude a little bit, and she's, you know, trying to get on with her sister and stuff. So I think that I might like her in future books a little bit more than I did in this one. Yeah, it was some of the other characters, I mean, they were okay. I didn't find any of them that were just like super lovable and fun or anything. None of them stood out really to me. I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of characters in this series because of all the different shops and everything, and so it's just something that you have to get used to as you go. But yeah, it was okay. The mystery was okay. I kind of figured out part of who done it part and everything. I thought that was pretty easy, but there was another part of it that I didn't get, but the one part I thought was pretty simple. But overall, you know, I think I'll give it like 3 stars. It was good. I liked it. I just didn't love it as much as I was hoping. But I will continue on with the second book to see if it starts to grow on me a little bit more. And then I haven't mentioned that I was working on this one because I kept forgetting, but I finished How to Be a Pirate by Cressida Cowell. This is the second book in the How to Train Your Dragon series. And these are just silly fun. I mean, that's pretty much all you can say. They're really short. It's the heroic misadventures of Hiccup the Viking. And basically, this is like Hiccup the Viking in his world has become, you know, when he got older, was like this really, really heroic Viking who could talk to dragons and all this stuff. But before that happened, he was a kid, and he had quite a few misadventures with that, and so these are his like kind of like memoirs of that adventure. And in this one, the Vikings are telling the young ones that they have to learn how to be a pirate. So they have to learn how to fight like a pirate. They need to learn how to use their dragons to sniff out treasure and all that kind of stuff. And of course, things don't go as smoothly as they would hope they would. And like they said, misadventures ensue. They get themselves in all kinds of trouble. And of course, Hiccup and Toothless save the day kind of thing. And do all the right things, and kind of shows you that he can be the hero even though he's smaller than some of the others and things like that. And yeah, it's just cute. So I am buddy reading these. We're with Sherry, we're doing one a month. There's 12 of them, so by the end of the year we will have finished this series. And yeah, the best part of this is listening to the audiobook because it's narrated by David Tennant and he's just awesome. And basically, I would probably give the story 3 stars because, I mean, it's just silly fun. But I give it 4 stars just for David Tennant's narration because it's just awesome. I mean, there's some little graphics and stuff in here, but I don't think they're all that great. They're I don't know. They're like kid sketches or something. And I guess maybe that's the way it's supposed to be. But yeah. It just looks like somebody scribbles on here and everything. So I mean, it's not the greatest of sketches. I'm not really all that, fond of the illustrations. But the story's cute. Silly cute. And so yeah, so that's the 2 that I finished. I am still working on Exile, but I am a little tiny bit over halfway, so I do think I will be able to get this finished by the end of the month now. I'm feeling a little bit more positive about that. And I worked some on Morning Glory by Lavelle Spencer, and I'm liking this one so far. I'm not very far into it, so I'm on chapter 6, and it's about Ellie, who everybody calls her Crazy Dinsmore, and about Will, who is an ex-con, and he just wants to get by, and he's pretty much starving because it's in 1941? Yeah, 1941, and nobody wants to work with him as being an ex-con, and he hears about her, and she has an ad. She puts an ad in the paper that she was wanting a husband, and it didn't matter who it was, like age or anything, just as long as he was hearty and healthy and could help with working around the house, pretty much, in her farm. And so he comes calling and says he would like to talk to her about her ad. So they are in the process of kind of like getting to know each other a little bit. And he's told her, that he was in jail and all that stuff and everything. But she's got 2 kids and 1 on the way. So she's, not going to be real picky about who comes there as long as he seems like he's going to be a nice guy. He's sleeping in the barn right now and everything. And they're just kind of getting to know each other a little bit. So I'm liking it so far. And I haven't really read a whole lot on this one, but the Hidden Rapture by Romelia Lane. I think that's how you say it. I don't know. Maybe you can see it there. I don't know. But yeah, I'm on chapter 2, so I haven't gotten very far yet. On page 24. But so far it's not too bad. I just haven't given it a lot of time because of all the other stuff that I've been reading. But yeah, so that's kind of my update. It's been super cold today. The weather is driving me crazy because like yesterday it was like almost 66 degrees, somewhere around there. And today it's like 25 and snowing and like ice, and I don't understand the weather. And it makes me moody and makes me just want to cuddle up in my blanket and do nothing. We didn't go anywhere today. And yeah, so hopefully, and then tomorrow I think like the high is going to be like in the 40s. So it's like boom, boom, boom. No, and then next week it's supposed to be like, I think there's a day that's like almost 70. And then there's a couple days next week that's supposed to snow. So I don't understand this weather. It's really annoying. And anyway, so yeah, I will come back on here and update if I finished anything. And I'm hoping to finish at least one more book. I would like to finish, I think, one of these, but we'll see. And I'm hoping to get a little bit farther into this one. Hello everybody, I'm just coming in to wrap up the vlog. I forgot to do that last night, and so I'm just going to do it so I can go ahead and start the next one. And so I'm just going to tell you what I read and do the star ratings and stuff like that. And so I read The Primrose Path by Barbara Metzger. It's 5 stars. I absolutely love it. If you like historical romances and you're a dog lover, it's a must. You just got to. It's 1997, and I think it held up really well. And I absolutely loved it. It was so much fun. It had me giggling like through the whole thing. So great. I finished How to Be a Pirate by Cressida Cowell, which is the second book in the How to Train Your Dragon series. And this was just kind of a silly, fun read. I listened to it on audiobook. David Tennant is the narrator. He's awesome. I would say if I was just reading this, it'd probably be like 3 stars. But since I'm listening to it and his narration is just so fun, I give it 4 stars. Then I finished Murder is Binding on audiobook, and that's the first book in the Booktown series by Lorna Barrett. And I was hoping to enjoy this one a lot more than I did, but that's okay. Sometimes first books just don't really hit you right off the bat, and I gave this one 3 stars, but I will continue the series to see if I will end up liking the characters a little bit more. Then I read Poached by Stewart Gibbs. This was one that I had already read like part of it, but it had to go back to the library and I didn't get the rest of it listened to, and it finally came back around on my overdrive, and so I just went ahead and finished it up. And this one was really cute. It's the second book in the Fun Jungle series, and I have taken it on to tackle this new series, well, new to me series by Stewart Gibbs. Since I did Spy School last year and I finished that whole series, I figured I might as well jump on board and do this one. And so yeah, it's a lot of fun. This one was about, you know, a koala that got kidnapped, and so it was cute. I give it 4 stars, and yeah, I think I did pretty good on my reads this week. Maybe not finished. I might not have finished as many as I would hope to, especially when it comes to my retros, because I only got 1 retro finished, but that's okay. I think overall, though, I'm doing fairly well with it, so that's good. And anyway, I'm going to go ahead and close this out. And so I hope you enjoyed this vlog, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.